Thank you for joining me today from the big backyard. It's the heat kind of broke a little bit, so I figured I could do a reading out here in the shade. They're doing a lot of work on my street too, so it's been a little bit noisy, but I'm glad it's a little bit cooler for them today to be working, so that's probably why they're working so furiously out there. Beat the heat. Okay, I'm gonna start. Yeah, let's start with the meditation deck. Maybe it's a meditate Monday for you. If that's the case, do get out in nature. It helps. You don't even have to say Om if you don't want to, but you can. When you do that, it helps resonate. The sound in your body. You're working your throat chakra. You're working your solar plexus, your crown, all sorts of things. Okay. So, just because it hasn't worked for you in the past doesn't mean it's not going to work for you ever, right? Because, like, have you tried it? Have you tried it? Some people are like, no, that won't work for me. Huh? Your loss, right? Don't go ragging on everybody else just because you don't want to do it, right? I remember that once. It's like I put up a movie I had seen, and I told people, I said I highly recommended it, and somebody came on. They're like, I would never go see that movie. It's I was like, have you seen it? They're like, no. I was like, well, like, unless you were in the editing room, like, you haven't seen it. Okay. Okay. Were you in the post production? No. Okay. Unless it was a play before it was a movie, you haven't seen it, right? So, you know, because some people be like, oh, meditation's not for me. It doesn't have to be. It could be for somebody else. So if you're that somebody else today, this might be your message, right? Because this is about you right now, okay? Curiosity. So yeah, maybe you have some curiosity about like how best to approach wellness. hmm Myself, I'm not somebody who like goes and hits the gym, but I will hit these bushes here this afternoon, and that's going to be working out my tries a little bit. Do you understand what I'm saying? And my delts here. Okay. Those construction workers out there on the street, do you think they're going to be hitting the gym afterwards for a 30-minute cardio? I don't think so. I think they got it down out there. Do you know what I'm saying? Just because you're not posting gym selfies and look at what my wad of the day, la 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 la. Right? Not everybody has time for that. Somebody says their feet stink. Well, I would suggest you wash them. Right? Somebody says if you're lazy, just say that. Exactly. Cotton candy is all about the poo today. Over in Korea, they probably have a poop emoji cotton candy, don't you think so? Or in Japan. Drinking coffee in the big 2025 is sad. Who's drinking coffee? Protection. Spell it backwards, they said. What is that called when they do it in numbers? When the number is the same backwards as forward as well. Why would you like to see what I'm drinking? Personally, I gave up coffee several years ago. But for some people out there, that is their power source. That's what they need to get themselves going in the morning. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Um, Everything in moderation, right? So, collective, you could be feeling protected. You could be feeling like the urge to protect your physical health, your body, um, and not only your physical health, like by things you're consuming, but like by things that you're reading. By the comments that appear in this chat, like, yeah, I ain't taking that personally, right? Like, what are they even talking about? Um, yeah, know how to protect yourself. Because otherwise, you're just going to be running around pointing the finger. Oh, they said this at me and that hurt my feelings. And guess what? This is life. People are going to hurt your feelings. I can 100% guarantee that. Can you protect me from Cotton Candy Channel? Well, if you would like to report Cotton Candy for their excessive use of the word poo. Who's cringe? You know what, honey? You need your own channel, I think. So we're gonna put the poop cotton person in timeout. Protect me, O Lord, from the poo flavored cotton candy, right? Yeah. Again, like overseas, they have all those they make that poo emoji into all sorts of like different things that, don't taste like poo, obviously. Hey, stay out of there. Get out of there. I don't know what's up with this dog lately. She thinks she can just walk right through my garden. Yeah, you know you're not supposed to do that. You're getting all hot out in the sun. Why don't you lay down? Yeah. Oop, there's our other meditation card here. Okay. Light worker. Collective, you could be resonating as a light worker. Like, you're somebody who likes to look on the bright side. You're somebody who likes to stay optimistic. You don't dwell. You tackle problems head on type thing. And you could be a guide for other people, you know. And if you're guided to share that knowledge with others, there's so many social media platforms out there. You can do all sorts of things. You can do a blog, you can just post inspirational content, you could do videos like I do. There's all sorts of different things that you can do to share that light within you. Okay? So, you know for the other cotton candies out there that just couldn't resist sharing their knowledge, right? Yeah, think about doing that on a platform, right? And see what kind of response you might get. You may find that you do have folks that are interested in your content. Okay. So I'm going to pull some tarot now. So again, this is just a quick message for Monday. I don't really have any acting moderators right now either. So if there's any moderator volunteers out there that would like to do that, please do. Make yourself known. Okay, yeah, Three of Pentacles. Collective, you might be finding yourself inspired to work with or collaborate with a certain group of individuals, okay? Knight of Pentacles. Okay, slow and steady. Yeah, so whatever this is that you've been working on, slow and steady is protected. Okay, and I think that's part of why people might see you as a light worker as well. It's like, yeah, nothing, it's not like hitting the lottery overnight, right? Collective, how long and hard you've had to work. And the challenges that other people have put in front of you, right? Son of God, no, I am not in danger right now because I am protected by God, and your threats will not be tolerated on this channel. I don't do threatening messages like that. I don't do channelings like that. If you want channelings like that, you got to go to a different reader, son. Yeah. So, let it be known. Let it be written. Let it be done. Right? Isn't that what they say? Have mercy. look at that. What did I say about slow and steady? And then all of a sudden you're going to turn around and like, okay, like this tomato plant here. Do you see how high that is? It's like as tall as me. That started from a little plant like this big, just as tall as not even as tall as my hand. And now it's like going to be bigger than me. Literally, she has the tomato plants over here. So, whatever it is that brings you joy, okay, go forth and multiply. That is written in the Bible too, is it not? So once you start working with the right people here, Three of Pentacles, yeah, then it's like, oh, this is something. This is something I want to hang on to. And then all of a sudden it's going to be like, yeah, that's a lot of somethings in it. And it's going to feel like you hit the lottery. Because you're going to be that happy, right? You're going to be that overjoyed that all this hard work that you've put in is coming to pass, is it not? Okay. So I really feel like that's just your message today. Yeah, happiness here, Four of Wands. That is your overall message. Keep going for your happiness. Yes, it's Monday. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people at work complaining, I don't want to be here. You got to stop talking to those people. Misery loves company. You have work to do, collective, right? Keeping your head down and out of other people's complaint department is number one on your list. You are not these people's guidance counselor at work. And if they start coming to you a little too much, you're going to have to tell them. You'll be like, you have insurance, don't you? And they'll be like, yeah. You'll be like, well, why don't you take that insurance and maybe find yourself a nice counselor and you can talk extensively about these things, right? Instead of burdening you, right? You can say that nicely, right? But I'm getting that kind of, because it's one of those things like they're waiting for the collective to show up, right? They're waiting for the collective to show up and save the day because they know the collective's going to put the work in. The collective's not going to give up when the tough gets going, right? When the going gets tough. Exactly. Because the collective is going to go forth and multiply. That is my wish for you all today. Okay. So maybe meditate on that, about what you can multiply in your life. And especially since we pulled all pentacles here today, we're talking about your abundance. We're talking about your home, your finances, your family. These should be the things that are the most important to you, right? And those people at work that are like, I don't want to be here. Well, maybe they've lost their focus. You haven't. You need to find the people that want to be there. You need to find the people that want to win. You need to find the people. Exactly. Because some people want to be pulled along, okay, without doing a lot of the work, right? But you know what, collective? When that day comes, they're just going to have to pay for it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they might see you up at the farmer's market selling those vegetables. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So, and maybe that's something you're getting into, collective, in this Four of Wands. Like, what is your vision for your next step in life? How are you marketing your goods and services? Again, there's so many platforms out there. There's so many opportunities that you can take advantage of without, say, participating in social media, in terms of maybe you don't like the politics of it. Maybe you don't like the gossip of it. Maybe you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to follow all those people. You don't have to do that. If you want gossip, follow Entertainment Tonight or TMZ, on these platforms. Okay? I'm just saying. Okay. Yeah, keep that love. Keep that love, because it is literally your right as a human being. Okay? All right, snap it up, snap it up. Hop sing, right? That's probably offensive. They used to say that in like TV shows and stuff. But that was actually kind of back like of the days when they brought the cheap immigrant labor over from China to build the railroads and stuff. So yeah, it's probably not really appropriate for me to be saying. Anyway, I mean, my parents used to say that to me, and we're not Chinese, right? They were like, "Hey, hop sing, let's get on it, let's get on it." Do you know what I'm saying? Like, time's a wasting. You ever hear that song? Time's a wasting. Okay. So don't waste your time, and don't allow people that aren't looking at the fruits of your labor of what it's actually worth, right? Don't allow those people to get you distracted. No. Just because they haven't found their purpose yet, just because they don't want to be there, just you know, hey, you wanna hang around a negative Nancy, and then you're gonna turn into a pitiful Paul. Okay? And then you'll be sitting around saying, why do they have that and I don't? Because they're working their fucking ass off for what they fucking want. And they're not blaming the government, and they're not blaming whatever. Do you understand what I'm saying, huh? I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like the governor in our state, but you know what? Law enforcement's been real busy lately, and I kind of like that myself, because I like living in a safe environment. You know, some people be like, well, the governor doesn't have anything to do with that. Well, I don't know. Our state, we've had a few governors in jail. Yeah, they made the big time, like literally. Yeah, it was a big house, all right. And it had bars on the front. Y'all, we've had at least 2 governors in the pen, you know what I'm saying? So, anyway. Well, then we had Rod. He got pardoned, thanks to Trump. Trump pardoned Rod. So, which, you know, was Rod kind of a patsy in the situation? I mean, I wouldn't say he's the most suave he's not the most sophisticated politician out there. Do you know what I mean? So again, collective, when people come to you and they're like, hey, I want you to do this for me and that for me, and if it's just not your bag, right? If this is not what lights you up, right? Give that a little pause, right? Before you get up on their little platform. Yeah. Like all those people that want to secede from Illinois down in southern Illinois. Yeah. To go to Indiana. Well, guess what? Did you know that we have untapped coal reserves in southern Illinois? I bet Indiana would love to get their hands on that kind of money and energy. But I bet those Indiana politicians won't tell you about that, and they won't tell you how they're going to use that money once they come over and exploit your land, are they? Hmm? 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 Do your research. Does that fit your purpose? Does that fit your purpose? Somebody else coming over and taking your fucking land? Does that fit your purpose? A lot of people bitching about these federal lands for sale. Go out and buy something, America. Invest in where you're living at. Don't just sit here and say, oh, China. Oh, I see people spend a lot of money on a lot of shit. And then at the end of the day, they're whining and moaning because they don't have a frickin' roof over their goddamn head. Well, where has their focus been? Huh? You know what I mean? What are they been working on all these years? All these pentacles are not out here by mistake. Financial abundance, the home, these are very, very important things. And that also aligns with our root chakra. So when people feel safe, they're happy. They don't want to act out and do crazy things. You know, I don't want to live in some war-torn country where people are fighting over the land all the time. You know, you can't just make it into a real estate transaction, sir, like we do over here. God bless those old realtors out there trying to sell those houses. I mean, anyway. Now, if the banks would be a little nicer, but we only have control over so much. Anyway. Although don't give up, because you know I was having a problem getting financing for that vehicle when my Jeep was acting up, and I did end up getting financing through a different bank, you know, to get the little car that I'm driving around, which, by the way, the average miles per gallon is like 27 right now, which you might say that's not really great, but I'm going to tell you this. A lot of times I leave the car running with the air conditioner on because, you know, I have the dog with me, and like if it's like hot like this or whatever, you know, like, you can't let the car not run, right? So a lot of that is idle engine time right now too. So I'm kind of, so I bet my mile per gallon average is at least, and this is all like mostly in town driving. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like that stop and go stuff. So I feel like it's doing pretty good right now. Anyway, yeah, focus on what lights you up, man. You know what I mean? If you want to start tracking your mileage, if you want to start tracking your gas prices, and some people are like, "What are you nerding out about?" Go do it. Who gives a flip what they care about? Are they paying for your gas? Hmm? I was also reading about a shortage of Uber drivers. I haven't been doing Uber lately because I've been busy with other things like, you know, I got to get these bushes taken care of, and I can't do that while I'm Ubering. So, as I was reading about that on Reddit, there was somebody mentioning since they were disabled, so they don't drive. And it was interesting when I was Ubering. There's mostly it was kids that I would pick up from like these fast food jobs, you know, that they don't have cars yet, and a lot of those elderly folks just needing a ride to. A lot of them was picking them up at the hospital or taking them to the. I mean, there was even a few of those, which, you know, I don't know if I agree with that insurance anyway. I mean, shouldn't ambulance be taking grandma to the hospital, not Uber? I'm just saying, just saying. So, yeah, are things perfect? No, no, but you know, we do what we can. And the people who are actually doing are the ones that are going to see the results. The people that are just sitting there saying, "Why isn't anyone giving to me? Why isn't anyone giving to me?" Have they given themselves anything? You know, and a lot of these people have full use of all their ambulatory services, right? All their appendages are fully operational, except, you know, it seems like, you know, the brain. Anyway, maybe they haven't woken up from their zombie like state yet. Is that what it means to awaken, right? Taking responsibility, you know, stay woke, right? So, yeah, thanks for hanging out. It's pretty nice out here right now. Even enjoying my warm beverage that I made for myself. Before I get into these bushes here, but really I think this is my garbage pickup stay-in is in a couple days, so I could have like a lot of this stuff kind of cleaned up. And then you guys, I know y'all love hearing about this stuff. Some more exciting news. I should be getting my mower back this week. I'm very excited about that because I'm on a half acre, so I have a riding mower that I mow my property with. And since the mower has been in the repair shop, I've had a neighborhood kid come and do it. It's very nice, but it gets expensive, especially in the summertime with the frequency that you have to mow the grass, especially where I'm located here in the Midwest, where we actually have grass to mow. So keeps us busy, right? Anywho, so yeah, you know, what are you working on? What are you investing in? I'm investing in my property and keeping my house nice. It's not a wild concept. To some folks it is though, because they want you spending time doing other things. You know, they see what you can do here and they think, oh, well, they can do that for me. And it's like, well, kind of like this lady I used to work with at my corporate job, and she's into like the bodybuilding stuff, like she does the competitions and everything. And she said there was this one gal that was following around the gym one day and was like, "Oh, I love your shoulders. How can I get shoulders like you?" Right? And she's like, "Well, if you want to do it, just like follow me around the next time I come in here and do a shoulder workout, right? And see if you can hang." And like, because she's like, that's gonna be what it takes, right? So, recognize the difference when somebody compliments you and it's an admiration, right? And they'll say, like, "Oh, I want to do that. Show me how you do that, blah, blah." But they don't actually want to put in the work for that. And like, I'm a singer as well. I've had a lot of people come up to me before and, like, "Tell me how you sing." And I was like, well, first off, I'm self taught. So, yeah, I had choir growing up and music lessons and things of that nature, but I like to sing. Um, as an adult in certain, you know, applications, that's a little different, you know. Um, but, if you really want that, hire me as a vocal coach, right? Do you know what I'm saying? A lot of these people, they want your secret, but they're not willing to pay for it, and they're not willing to put in that work. So if they're not even willing to pay for it in the first place, that can tell you that they're probably not going to put in the work for it, right? Because they'll pay for something else, right? Just saying. Just saying. So, yes, life is about choices, isn't it? All right. Um, I hope you guys can hear these birds. It's very nice. I know not everybody lives in the same kind of area, so I get the advantage of being somewhat close to nature while I'm at home, which is very nice. Um, Even my previous house that I had in town, it's had a little backyard and some, do you know what I mean? The squirrel running across the yard and the rabbits and stuff. So, if you don't have this by you, go to your local park. Do that on your lunch break. Do it right after work, maybe before work even. Especially before the heat of the day. And take a little stroll and you know, get those good endorphins going. Hear the birds chirping? I think they're in agreement. They're getting chirpy. Chirpaderp. Any bird translators out there? I do not know how to do bird calls, by the way. I can like whistle a little bit, but I don't know how to do bird calls. All right, so again, I started with the meditation cards. Some people be like, how long should I meditate for? You could do 30 minutes, would be, ideal, right? But if you only have 10 minutes, okay. And maybe that 10 minutes is while you're waiting for your kids, picking them up from the local pool or something. Or maybe you're, sitting outside your local library for a minute, right? And it's like, okay, you know, this is the time, in your car or whatever, put on something, especially those solfeggio frequencies, or play some nature sounds. A lot of the smart speakers, you can ask it to play forest sounds, you can ask it to play ocean sounds, and you'll get this kind of atmospheric thing, okay? And, set yourself a little timer, close your eyes. Don't make it complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated. Life, as many issues as we have, does not have to be complicated, right? As long as you stay focused. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. And that's where other people are trying to pull you, right? And pull on your energy because they don't know how to focus on what they need to be doing. But collective, you do. And 30 minutes on the dot. So I will give you your time back. As they used to say in the corporate world, it's like they're doing us a favor. I'm like, honey, I'm paid to be here anyway, right? Um, Maybe next time I can show you proof that I actually worked on these bushes, because let me tell you, I was really hoping to have them done before the end of the month, and it's like literally the last day of the month. It's the last day of June right now, so yeah, the goose is cooked if I don't on deadlines. So anyway, until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye bye.